And now in like the main event or the featured fight of the night, you've got Allan Begosso taking on Farid Basharat. And Farid Basharat was meant to fight on the first week of the contender series, but his opponent William Souza pulled out, and they never found him a replacement. So he weighed in. I believe he weighed in at 135 successfully, and I believe he got his show money for that. But unfortunately, UFC didn't sign him. They're like, look, mate, you got to fight on the contender series for us. So that's what they're doing. They found him a short notice replacement in Allan Begosso, who, in my opinion, is a tougher matchup for Farid Basharat than the original one. But I'm gonna still pick Farid Basharat here. I think if he uses his mixed martial arts to win the fight, he should win. You know, he's got a very good, well-rounded skill set. And I feel like if he can mix it all up, that's his path to victory to defeating Allan Begosso. Because Allan Begosso's got finishing power on the feet. He's got finishing ability on the ground. He's got good defensive submissions. He does have a couple of guillotine choke wins, and he does threaten with the guillotine choke if someone does look to take him down. But I think that Farid Basharat, he's a good enough, he's a watchful enough grappler to avoid getting submitted with a guillotine, in my opinion, by Allan Begosso. So I think that I can trust Farid Basharat to win this one here. On the feet, he's a good kickboxer. He's going to be a lot bigger than Begosso, 3 inches taller. I believe he's got a longer reach as well. And he does mix it up pretty well. Begosso is a bit of a powerhouse of a man at 5'5". He does kind of pack it all into that smaller frame. But he makes it work, man. He is definitely a very strong, very powerful fighter. But I think if Farid Basharat can just use his skill set, because I do think he's the more skilled fighter out of the two, we can see Farid win. I think that we're going to see Farid Basharat look to take the fight to the ground and win it like that. I'm going Farid Basharat by decision in this one here. I mean, he's definitely maybe live for a finish. It's a tough fight to predict because Farid, he hasn't fought anyone that has really tested his ability. Like, he did take a guy on that was 16-8 in Octagon, which is cool. But before that, you know, it just hasn't been the greatest level of competition. But I think that Basharat should get the job done. I'm leaning decision. So many people picking submission. I think it's because Basharat has never won a decision in his career. I believe all of his wins are inside the distance. But I think that we might see a decision win in this one here. He's got 2 decision wins actually, 5 by submission. But I'm going with decision. I think that Allan Begosso should be able to defend submission attempts, this and that, and stay live enough for a decision win. I like it. I like him, so I'm going to be picking Basharat to win. Okay, now I'm thinking about it. Maybe he is live for a sub. Begosso's tough though. I'm still gonna side with decision. I wouldn't bet a prop. In fact, this whole card is so tough to bet. Let's just get into the outro. I mean, I'm sorry guys. Open and honest, if you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate it. But I'm so tired, man. I've got a big weekend coming up, and I'm planning for that and this. First week of my new job. Hyped as for that, but I've kind of rushed all of my research for this one here, but I'm pretty confident in my picks. I don't think that they would be any different if I spent hours and hours and hours of tape study on these guys. I'm pretty sure, like, from what I've seen, I've watched tape on all of these people. Obviously, you can tell. But yeah, I'm pretty hyped for the card. I mean, it's not as good as week 7. I feel like maybe we went for like week 7 amazing card to like down a little bit. But hey, man, I love Dana White's contender series. I think you can kind of see it in my excitement. I love Dana White's contender series. I truly do. To wrap up the card, I'm going with Brandon Lewis. I think he's going to be an underdog. I'm going with Bruno Brazil. I'm going with Malik Lewis. I think he's going to be an underdog. I'm going with Ikram Aliskerov. He should be probably a pretty big favourite. It's a nightmare matchup for Souza. And I'm going to be going with Farid Basharat as well. I think the odds in that one might be somewhat close, but I think that Farid might be a little bit overhyped in the width of the line. So maybe Begosso, very live underdog. But let's see, man. Let's see how it looks. I'm nervous for the card, man. Malik Lewis and Brandon Lewis are 2 very potentially iffy picks, but I'm going to go with them. Let's just move on. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.